What women really want, and what they say they want, are two completely different things. You can either waste your life listening to what they say, or you can pay attention to what they actually respond to. Here's the truth: women don't even fully understand what they want. And they don't need to. That's your job. You're the man. Your role is not to sit around waiting for them to draw you a perfect map. Your role is to know, and lead accordingly. You're going to hear women say they want a nice guy. They'll say they want a man who listens to them, who's sensitive, who cries during movies, who supports all their dreams no matter how ridiculous. They'll say they want a man who's open, vulnerable, endlessly accommodating. Sounds sweet, doesn't it? It's a damn lie. Because the reality is this: women don't want a man who bends to their every whim. They don't respect that man. And they definitely don't sleep with that man. They use him. They pity him. They string him along. They call him their best friend. They save him for a rainy day when all the strong, dangerous men have already passed them by. A man without a spine is a man without a chance. Like the video and subscribe if you're already starting to feel the pieces click into place. I'm just getting warmed up. Here's what women actually want. They want a man who knows who the hell he is. A man who doesn't apologize for being a man. A man who leads, decides, protects, provides, and when necessary, dominates. Women are drawn to masculine energy like moths to a flame. They can't help it. It's biology. It's hardwired deep inside them. You can't reason with it, negotiate it, or intellectualize your way around it. You either embody it, or you lose. Now let's break it down properly so you can start winning instead of whining. 1. Strength over sensitivity. A woman will say she wants you to be vulnerable. She'll beg you to open up more. She'll complain that you're too stoic. You know why she says that? Because she's emotionally testing you. She's poking you, scratching at you, trying to see if your foundation will crumble. She wants to feel your strength, and the only way to test it is to try to break it. If you crack under pressure, she knows you were never strong in the first place. And once she sees that weakness, her attraction to you dies a little. Maybe a lot. Strength isn't just physical. It's emotional too. It's about being a steady, unshakable presence. Be the rock in the middle of the storm. Cry if someone close to you dies. Sure. You're not a robot. But don't be the guy who bawls every time he gets a parking ticket. Don't be the guy who needs her to mother him through every minor frustration. She doesn't want to be your therapist. She wants to admire you. 2. Leadership over accommodation. Women don't want to be the leader in the relationship. They might think they do. They might try it for a while. But over time, it rots their respect and poisons the attraction. When a woman feels like she's leading, organizing, steering, she stops feeling like a woman. And she starts resenting you for it. Decide where you're going. Plan the date. Choose the restaurant. Lead the conversation. Set the tone. Don't ask her 50 times what she wants to do. Whatever you want, babe, is not leadership. It's laziness dressed up as kindness. Take charge. If she really hates your idea, she'll tell you. Then you adjust like a man, firm but flexible. But 90% of the time, she doesn't even care what you choose. She just wants to feel that you're capable of choosing. Women relax when they're with a man who leads. Their bodies relax. Their minds relax. Because they finally feel safe enough to just be women. Take a second to hit the like button and subscribe if you're serious about stepping into that role. Weak men never lead anything, and they never keep a woman's loyalty. 3. Confidence over approval seeking. Stop trying to make her like you. Stop asking if she's having a good time every 5 minutes. Stop orbiting around her moods like she's the sun and you're a sad little planet. Women are attracted to certainty. Certainty in yourself. Certainty in your mission. certainty in the way you move through life. If you're constantly adjusting yourself to get her approval, you're showing her one thing: you believe she's better than you. And if you believe she's better than you, why the hell would she think otherwise? Walk with the weight of your own approval. Walk like you know you're valuable. Because you are, if you build yourself properly. If you need external validation to feel good about yourself, you're a boy, not a man. And women are not trying to date boys. They already raised one, themselves. 4. Purpose over obsession. Here's something they'll never tell you: if you make a woman your entire world, she will slowly start to resent you. It sounds romantic on paper. Movies teach you to make her your everything. Reality punishes men who fall for that trap. A man must have a mission bigger than any one woman. A purpose that he's chasing whether she stays or goes. When she sees that your fire doesn't go out just because she's mad at you, when she realizes your ambition burns hotter than your need for her validation, that's when she truly falls in love. Not before. You are the sun. She orbits you, not the other way around. 5. Mystery over oversharing. She doesn't need to know everything you're thinking. She doesn't need to have a play-by-play of every emotion that runs through your veins. Women fall for men they can't fully figure out. Not because you're playing games, but because you're too busy being a man to narrate your inner monologue all day. Let her wonder sometimes. Let her chase your attention now and then. Let her feel the sweet anxiety of not knowing every detail. Mystery triggers emotional investment. Oversharing triggers boredom. Stay interesting. Stay unpredictable. 6. Boundaries over people-pleasing. A woman will push you. She'll test you. Sometimes consciously, sometimes without even realizing it. She needs to know you'll hold the line. She needs to feel that you have standards, for her, and for yourself. If she's acting disrespectful, you don't just take it because you're scared she'll leave. You call it out. Firmly. Calmly. Without drama. Don't talk to me like that. Simple. Strong. You don't have to yell. You don't have to argue. You don't have to explain yourself like a damn schoolboy. You state the boundary. You enforce it. And if she crosses it again, you show her the door. Respect first. Love second. That's the order. Get that backwards, and you'll never have either. If you're still tracking with me, do me a favor, like the video and subscribe. You're not going to get this kind of talk from most places. They want you soft, compliant, confused. I want you strong. 7. Presence over distraction. Put the damn phone down. When you're with a woman, be with her. Listen. Look her in the eyes. Feel the moment. Nothing turns a woman on more than a man who's fully present with her. Nothing kills attraction faster than a man who's half checked out, scrolling Instagram, nodding at her every third word. Presence is power. When you're truly present, you radiate calm dominance. You make her feel like she's the only woman in the world. And ironically, that's when she starts working to keep your attention, not the other way around. Be the kind of man whose presence demands respect without a single word spoken. 8. Masculinity over political correctness. Forget what the world tells you. They want to neuter men. They want you apologizing for your testosterone. They want you ashamed of your instincts. Ignore them. Women don't want a neutered man. They want a dangerous man who has chosen to be good. A man capable of violence, but disciplined enough to hold it in reserve. A man capable of dominance, but noble enough to use it wisely. A man with teeth and a heart. Your masculinity is not the problem. Your softness is. Cultivate your edge. Build your strength. Refine your discipline. Stop apologizing for being a man. Start embodying the best of it. Listen. Women are not complicated once you stop believing their words and start observing their actions. They want a man who can lead, protect, inspire, and challenge them. They want a man they can look up to, not one they have to drag behind them like dead weight. You don't get there by being nicer. You don't get there by being more sensitive. You get there by becoming the kind of man who doesn't need anyone, but chooses his woman anyway. Women want a man who chooses them, not a man who needs them. Neediness is weakness. Choice is power. You've been fed a lot of lies about what women want, about what men are supposed to be, and about what relationships are supposed to look like. Forget all of it. Start by remembering this: respect is the foundation. Attraction is the reward. Love is the result. Get them out of order, and you'll be chasing your tail for the rest of your life. Build yourself first. Lead yourself first. Respect yourself first. Everything else flows from there. Like the video and subscribe if you're ready to stop living in fantasy and start living like a man. I'll leave you with this: you are either the man she dreams about, or the man she settles for when her dreams die. Choose wisely. And here's where most men miss the mark: they think if they just become nice enough, agreeable enough, women will reward them with affection. Wrong. Women are not looking for someone to fold themselves into a pretzel to accommodate them. They're craving a man who knows himself, stands his ground, and leads with certainty. A man who says what he means and means what he says. A man who doesn't need permission to exist. You see, when a woman tests you, and trust me, she will, she's not trying to sabotage you. She's trying to feel if your foundation is strong. She's poking to see if you'll collapse under pressure. And if you do? If you get emotional, defensive, insecure? She'll lose respect for you without even realizing it. It's not logical. It's biological. It's instinctual. You are supposed to be the mountain, not the leaf. When the storms come, you don't sway. You stay planted, unbothered. That's what triggers her admiration, attraction, and loyalty. You want to be the man she subconsciously feels she can surrender to, not because you demand it, but because your presence demands it without saying a word. Now, take a breath. If this is making sense to you, hit that like button and subscribe. It tells me you're getting it, and it'll keep this kind of real talk flowing your way. Let's move deeper. Most women don't sit around consciously thinking, I need a man with unshakable emotional control. No. What they say they want is a good listener, someone kind, someone supportive. And yes, these things do matter. But they are only attractive when they are layered on top of a man who is already respected, not in place of it. If a woman says she wants a man who listens, and you take that to mean, I need to turn into an emotional sponge and nod and agree with everything she says, you will fail miserably. Because she also wants you to be the man who listens, then makes his own decision, who weighs her input, then acts like a man, not like her peer or her pet. She doesn't want another girlfriend. She wants a man. You have to listen without losing yourself. You have to care without becoming weak. You have to support without being a doormat. This balance is what separates men who are respected by their women, and those who are resented silently. Another thing women say they want: emotional openness. And here's the cold, hard truth: most women are not equipped to deal with a man's raw emotions. They say they want you to be vulnerable. What they mean is, I want you to be selectively vulnerable. I want to see that you're human, but still strong. If you come to her like a broken little boy, if you unload all your anxiety, insecurity, weakness, you will destroy her attraction faster than you can blink. You are allowed to have fears. You are allowed to hurt. But you must manage it like a man. Control it. Channel it. Fix it. Or, if you must talk about it, talk to another man who gets it. Not your woman. Your woman needs to feel your strength more than your sadness. She needs to feel your certainty more than your confusion. This doesn't make her cruel. This makes her a woman. Respect it. If you're still with me, that tells me you're serious about stepping into your power. Now's a good time to hit that like button if you haven't yet, and subscribe if you want more of this no BS wisdom, because most men today are starving for it, and nobody's handing it out. Let's keep going. You ever notice how women will say, "I just want a guy who's nice, caring, and thoughtful," and then turn around and date the guy who barely texts her back? Exactly. That's because what she feels and what she says are two different realities. Words are the language of logic. But women are emotional creatures. They respond to how you make them feel, not what you say, not even what they say. You can buy her flowers, write her poems, send her good morning texts for 6 months straight. But if you don't spark her emotional engine, if you don't make her feel excitement, anticipation, admiration, challenge, she'll leave. Emotion first. Logic second. That's why the so-called bad boys seem to win so often. It's not because women like being mistreated. It's because bad boys create emotional turbulence, uncertainty, excitement. They aren't easy to predict. But guess what? You don't need to be toxic to create excitement. You need to stay rooted in your purpose. You need to have standards. You need to have a life that she wants to be part of, not one you rearrange to orbit around her. Women want to enter a man's world, not become his world. If you make her your sun, your moon, and your stars, she'll feel smothered, not cherished. Let's hammer another nail into this. Women want a man who is wanted by other women. This is called pre-selection. When a woman sees that other women find you attractive, her brain automatically assumes there must be something valuable about him. It's not because she's shallow. It's because her biology evolved to seek out the best mate for survival and protection. If no one wants you, she'll start wondering if she made a mistake by wanting you. Harsh? Maybe. But it's reality. That's why you should always have a life, friends, hobbies, passions, pursuits, that don't revolve around any one woman. Not to make her jealous. Not to play games, but because it makes you genuinely more attractive. You're signaling, I have options. I choose you because I want to, not because I have to. That's powerful. That's masculine. All right, that's a natural pause point before we dive into even deeper dynamics like sexual polarity, masculine containment, and why being too available kills attraction. Let's talk about sexual polarity. Attraction lives and dies on polarity. Masculine and feminine energy are like two ends of a magnet. When they're strong and opposite, boom, chemistry. When they're too similar, dead. Flat. Friend zone. If you, as a man, collapse into your feminine, you smother that polarity. You start acting too emotional, too reactive, too passive, you kill the spark. You make her feel like she's with a buddy, not a man she wants to surrender to. Your job isn't to compete with her emotions. Your job is to contain them. Containment. Understand this word, it's one of the most powerful concepts you'll ever learn. Containment is when you can hold space for her emotions without being dragged into them. She's spinning, venting, freaking out about some drama, and you don't flinch. You don't try to fix it immediately. You don't panic. You don't match her emotional chaos with your own. You listen. You stay calm. You guide the energy, like a rock guiding the river. She feels safe in your energy because you don't drown in her storm. This, more than anything, makes a woman relax around you. It lets her soften into her feminine, knowing your masculine energy is strong enough to hold both of you. Most men screw this up. They either get overwhelmed and check out emotionally, becoming cold and distant. Try to fix everything immediately, invalidating her feelings in the process. Both are weak moves. Contain her emotions first. Solutions later, if needed. And while we're here, let's slice through another modern myth, availability. You've been lied to. Being 100% available 24/7 does not make you more attractive. It makes you predictable. It makes you boring. Men who drop everything instantly for a woman signal that they have nothing better going on. No mission. No purpose. No backbone. Women say they want a man who's attentive. What they feel drawn to is a man who's committed to his path, and makes time for her without betraying that path. If you're always available, you're showing her that she's more important than your purpose. She doesn't want that. Even if she says she does. She wants to know that she can be part of your world, not that she can become your world. Big difference. Quick side note, if you're feeling this, if it's triggering something in you, good. That means you're waking up. Smash that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel. We're just getting warmed up. Now, let's go even deeper. A woman wants a man who leads without needing permission. Leadership doesn't mean barking orders. It doesn't mean controlling her. It doesn't mean being a dictator. It means being decisive. It means taking initiative without waiting for her to lay out the blueprint. It means saying, "Be ready at 7. I'm taking you somewhere special," instead of asking, "What do you want to do tonight?" Anything you feel like? Like a boy asking permission from his mom. Women crave leadership because it allows them to relax into their feminine energy. They can flow, feel, surrender, because you've created a container they trust. And don't get it twisted, leadership isn't just about you. Real leadership is about service. You lead for the benefit of both of you. You lead because you can handle more responsibility. Because you are built for it. When a woman feels your leadership, she doesn't resist it, she welcomes it. She respects it. And guess what? Respect is the foundation of lasting attraction. No respect, no attraction. Period. Now let's hit on something uncomfortable but necessary. You need to be willing to walk away. At any moment. From anyone. Even her. Especially her. Because when a woman senses that you are afraid to lose her, she stops seeing you as the prize. You become the desperate one. The chaser. The one with less power. You never cling. You never beg. You never plead. You operate from abundance, not scarcity. You know that you are the asset. You know that your time, energy, and presence are valuable. A man who knows his worth doesn't tolerate disrespect. He doesn't tolerate emotional manipulation. He doesn't argue or try to convince a woman to stay. He walks away if necessary, clean, calm, clear. Not out of anger. Out of self-respect. When a woman feels that strength, that silent "I love you, but I don't need you" energy, it drives her absolutely wild. She feels safe. She feels the gravity of your presence. She feels like she's with a real man. And if she's the right woman, she'll meet you there. If she's the wrong woman, she'll fall away. Either way, you win. All right, deep breath. This is a lot to take in. But this is the reality most men were never taught. Nobody sat you down and told you, "Hey, son, women are drawn to strength, to leadership, to self-respect. Not to neediness. Not to weakness, not to emotional vomiting." They lied to you. Movies lied. Media lied. Modern culture lied. And it's your job, right now, to unlearn that garbage and rebuild yourself from the ground up. If you're feeling the fire inside, if you're realizing you've been living like a boy when you were meant to live like a man, pause right now, hit like, subscribe, because this isn't a one-time talk. This is a way of life. And you're either in, or you're out. Next up, we're going to break down the 5 core masculine traits that drive women absolutely crazy, even if they can't explain why. Let's break down the 5 core masculine traits women are hardwired to respond to. If you master these, you don't chase women. You attract them, without begging, without games, without selling your soul. Ready? 1. Presence. Presence is everything. It's when you're fully in the moment, not distracted, not checking your phone, not mentally somewhere else. A man with presence walks into a room and shifts the energy without saying a word. He listens fully when spoken to. He looks a woman in the eye and she feels seen, not scanned, not judged, seen. Presence says, "I am here." I am unshakable. I see you. I choose you. Most men nowadays can't even sit through a 2-minute conversation without twitching like they're about to explode. They're stuck in their heads. They're worried about what to say next. They're trying to impress. Presence kills all of that noise. Practice being here, grounded, solid, unmovable. Women are starving for it. They crave it like oxygen. 2. Command. Command is internal. It's the calm certainty that you belong wherever you are. That you have a right to take up space. That your words, actions, and desires matter. It's the way you order a drink. The way you walk into a room. The way you make decisions without apologizing for existing. Command is quiet power. It doesn't shout. It doesn't bark. It doesn't seek validation. It just is. If you lack command, women feel it immediately. They sense the hesitation. They sense the doubt. And it repels them like bad cologne. Command yourself first, and the world, including women, will follow. 3. Direction. Men without direction are like ships without a rudder, just drifting, hoping to bump into an island. A man with direction knows where he's going, with or without a woman. He has a mission bigger than her. He's not waiting for a relationship to give his life meaning. He brings meaning to the relationship because he's already living with purpose. When you have direction, women don't become your purpose, they become your companions on the journey. Huge difference. No woman wants to be the center of your universe. She wants to orbit around your fire, not be the fire. If you don't know your mission yet, find it. If you have one, double down. Your life is not about chasing women. Your life is about conquering yourself and creating something worth living for. Women are drawn to men who are going somewhere, fast. 4. Decisiveness. Indecision is weakness. Period. A man who can't decide is a man who can't be trusted. It's not about being right 100% of the time. It's about making a call, taking responsibility, and moving forward. Women don't expect you to be perfect. They expect you to be decisive. Where are we going? You decide. What do you want to eat? You decide. What are we doing this weekend? You decide. Doesn't mean you ignore her preferences, but you lead. When you hesitate, when you defer constantly, when you push the responsibility back onto her, you force her into her masculine energy. And guess what? That kills her attraction to you faster than anything else. Lead. Own your decisions. Adjust if necessary. But stop being afraid to choose. 5. Strength. I'm not just talking about physical strength, though that's important too. I'm talking about emotional strength. Mental strength. Spiritual strength. The ability to hold your ground when life gets tough. The ability to stay calm under pressure. The ability to protect, provide, and persevere. Strength isn't loud. It's not arrogant. Real strength is silent confidence. It's walking through storms with your head high because you know who you are and what you stand for. Women test you, not because they're evil, but because they need to know your strength is real. They'll push you. They'll poke at your weaknesses. They'll throw emotional chaos your way sometimes. Not out of malice, but out of instinct. They want to feel, can he handle me? Can he handle life? If the answer is yes, you unlock a level of devotion you can't even imagine. If the answer is no, you get discarded like an empty soda can. Tough truth. But you're here for truth, not comfort. All right, pause right here. You just got hit with about a decade's worth of wisdom in the last few minutes. If you're serious about living this out, if you want more straight, no-fluff guidance like this, take a second and hit that like button, and subscribe if you haven't. This is the stuff that changes lives. Not hype. Not gimmicks. Real, timeless masculinity. All right, moving on. Now let's clean up one last toxic lie that's been hammered into your brain, the idea that being a nice guy gets you love. Listen carefully, being nice isn't the problem. Kindness, generosity, loyalty, these are good things. But most nice guys aren't really nice. They're manipulative. They're transactional. They're fake. They're trying to buy love and respect with good behavior. They're afraid to set boundaries. They're terrified to say no. They seek approval at all costs. And women smell it from a mile away. They see the weakness under the fake smile. They see the desperation under the compliments. And they reject it instinctively. Because women don't want a doormat. They want a man. A man who is kind because he chooses to be, not because he's scared of being abandoned. A man who can give without losing himself. A man who has standards, and enforces them. If you're being nice, because you're afraid, you're already lost. Drop the act. Grow a spine. Be good, but don't be weak. Stand for something, even if it means standing alone. Respect yourself, and others will follow. Now let's talk about something most men never even realize. Women want to feel something around you. They don't remember your Rolex. They don't remember your perfect six-pack. They remember how you made them feel. Attraction is emotional, not logical. And women are emotional creatures, always have been, always will be. If being around you feels like reading a user manual or filling out tax paperwork, cold, boring, predictable, you could look like a Greek god and they still won't want you. You have to create emotion. Tension. Challenge. Surprise. Excitement. Comfort. It's not about being a clown or an entertainer, it's about having life force. It's about having a vibe. Your energy. Your passion. Your fire for life. Most men are dead inside. Dull conversations. Lame body language. No opinions, no humor, no spice. A woman meets you and thinks, I already feel asleep. Listen, a man without soul is invisible. You can be poor, short, bald, if you have soul. Women feel it. They lean in. They get curious. They wonder, who is this? That's power. You can't fake it. You build it by living fully. By laughing harder. By chasing passions. By risking embarrassment. By speaking what you really think instead of censoring yourself every 5 seconds. Life rewards the bold. Women are no different. Quick checkpoint, if you're finding value here, if this is shaking some of that old dead thinking off you, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Let's keep building men, not boys. Alright, hammering forward. Now let's tear open another painful reality. The biggest thing women want, but almost never say out loud, is to be led by a man they respect. Not controlled. Not dominated in some childish, insecure way. Led. Led by strength. Led by clarity. Led by vision. A man who can say, this is who I am. This is where I'm going. I'd love you to walk beside me, but either way, I'm going. A man who is willing to say no, when needed. A man who isn't scared of conflict. A man who isn't trying to manage her emotions, but instead holds steady like a mountain while storms pass. Most modern men are terrified of upsetting a woman. They think love means endless accommodation. It doesn't. Love means truth. Respect means truth. And sometimes, the truth will sting her. Sometimes she'll be upset. Sometimes she'll cry. And your job is not to fold like wet cardboard because you're uncomfortable with emotion. Your job is to stay rooted. Solid. Compassionate, but firm. That's leadership. And real women hunger for it. Even the ones who say they're independent and don't need a man. Especially them. They're tired of carrying all the weight. They crave a man who can handle his business, and hers when needed. Be that man. Here's another nasty truth. Women don't want men they can manipulate. Sure, they'll toy with boys who let them. But they won't respect them. They'll use them, and then leave them for the first man who says, "Enough. Here's how it's going to be." That's the cold, brutal hierarchy at work. You don't become a king by asking for permission. You become a king by building your castle, and inviting her into it. Not by begging her to move her furniture in first. Your rules. Your standards. Your life. And if she doesn't want to be a part of it? Fine. You were good before her. You'll be good after her. That's the energy that melts women. Not because you're trying to manipulate them, but because you don't need them. You choose them. That's real attraction. That's magnetic masculinity. Let's pull no punches for a second. If you live like a king without a queen, women will line up to audition. If you live like a peasant looking for a queen to save you, you'll get scammed, used, cheated on, and thrown into the gutter. That's how ruthless nature is. You get what you earn, not what you wish for. Harsh? Yes. But necessary. The world does not owe you affection. Women do not owe you loyalty. Life owes you nothing, except the raw materials to become a man worth following. Use them. Or stay forgotten. Your choice. Another reminder before we hit the next heavy truth: if this is waking you up, even making you a little angry, that's good. That's growth. If you're serious about keeping this edge sharp, smash that like button and subscribe. We build real men here. No victims. No excuses. No softness. All right, let's go even deeper. Here's what you need to really understand: you teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. Every time you let disrespect slide, you teach her you are a man who allows disrespect. Every time you avoid conflict to keep the peace, you teach her you are a man who fears reality. Every time you put her on a pedestal, you teach her you are beneath her. And no woman wants to sleep with her fan club president. She wants to sleep with a king. She wants to worship the man who commands worship through his actions, his spirit, his strength, not through words, not through gifts, not through begging. Respect is earned. Not demanded. Not begged for. Earned. Through consistency. Through boundaries. Through self-respect so strong that it leaks into every interaction you have. Women test you because they are biologically programmed to filter out weak men. It's survival. It's not cruelty. It's instinct. So when you get tested, and you will, don't whine. Don't sulk. Don't throw a tantrum. Smile. Recognize it for what it is, an opportunity to prove yourself to yourself. Handle it like a man. And move forward, with or without her approval. Now, another uncomfortable truth: women don't want perfect men. They want real men. The self-improvement grind can make you forget that. Some of you are chasing perfection like a dog chasing cars. You think if you finally make $1 million, or bench press 300 pounds, or get your six-pack shredded enough, then women will magically fall into your lap. They won't. Because it's not perfection that attracts women. It's depth. It's realness. It's presence. It's your ability to stand in your truth, scars and all, without flinching. A man who owns his imperfections beats a man who hides behind a mask every time. Why? Because a man who owns his flaws is powerful. He's free. He's unbreakable. Nothing she can say or do will shake him, because he's already accepted himself. Meanwhile, a man desperate to seem perfect is like a house of cards. One wrong breeze, and he collapses. Women can smell it. They may not be able to explain it. But they feel it. They sense when a man is trying to impress them versus when a man is simply being. They crave the second type. Be the second type. Now pay attention, because this will save you years of suffering. You will never be good enough for the wrong woman. I don't care how ripped you get. I don't care how rich you get. If a woman doesn't want you, if she doesn't feel it, there's nothing you can do to manufacture it. No amount of text games. No amount of flowers. No amount of good morning beautiful texts. You can't negotiate genuine desire. You either spark it, or you don't. If you don't, walk away. Immediately. No pleading. No negotiating. No convincing. Walk. Your dignity is priceless. Every time you chase a woman who's lukewarm, you bleed power out of your soul. You teach yourself you're not worthy. You sabotage your future. Don't do it. A woman who's truly into you makes it easy. She shows up. She invests. She respects. She admires. She wants you, the real you. That's the standard. Nothing less. Quick gut check before we charge into the next point. If you're starting to feel the fire in your chest, if you're starting to realize how much you've been selling yourself short, good. Take a second, hit the like button, subscribe, and keep sharpening that edge. Let's build something ruthless, something unstoppable. Back into it. Another hard truth: your money, looks, and status are amplifiers, not substitutes. Money is great. Fitness is great. Status is great. But they are multipliers of who you already are. If you're a weak man inside, money makes you a weak man with shiny toys. If you're an insecure man inside, muscles just make you an insecure man with bigger arms. If you're a leader inside, money, fitness, and status make you unstoppable. The real foundation is character. Unbreakable self-respect. Relentless discipline. Unshakable standards. That's the engine. Everything else is just nitro you pour on top. Build the engine first. If you don't, you'll always attract the wrong kind of women, gold diggers, users, manipulators, and you'll be too weak to walk away. If you do, you'll be a magnet for quality, women who admire, respect, and add value to your life. Now here's another piece that nobody tells you. The more you chase women, the less they want you. The more you chase your mission, the more women chase you. It's almost magical how this works. When you put women at the center of your life, you turn them off. When you put your purpose at the center of your life, you turn them on. Because deep down, every woman dreams of being a part of a man's world, not being his world. If you make her the center of everything, you lose your gravity. You lose your pull. You become a satellite orbiting her. And nobody respects a satellite. Be the sun. Burn so brightly that she's honored just to be caught in your orbit. Make her want to earn a place beside you. Never the other way around. Final warhammer to the chest before we wrap this up: the man who doesn't fear losing a woman will always have the upper hand. Fear is weakness. Women feel it like blood in the water. If you're scared of her leaving, you'll start compromising yourself to keep her. You'll start apologizing for things you didn't even do wrong. You'll start lowering your standards. You'll start swallowing disrespect. And slowly, you'll lose her anyway. Because no woman can love a man she pities. The second she feels you are afraid to lose her, you already have. Instead, stand tall. Lie full. Love fully, but never desperately. Give your best, but be willing to walk away the second respect leaves the building. Even if it hurts. Even if you miss her. Even if you have to rebuild alone. That's manhood. Pain polishes you. Rejection forges you. Loss tempers you. Stand in the fire. Smile through it. And become the man women pray for, but few ever meet.